Now, a Hutch's weather update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson, brought to you by Robert Gibb and Sons.
All right, hello everybody. Meteorologist Hutch Johnson with an update. Storms are clearing the Stutsman County area, Carrington, New Rockford. You're all but done with the storms. We have some showers moving towards Grand Forks, not far from Fargo. If you're waking up to rumbles here as we cross through the 3:30 a.m. time frame, we have storms here. We have storms exiting out of the Wahpeton Breckenridge area, heading into Wilkin County, and eventually not far from Grant and southern Otter Tail County. Here is a quick peek at that radar right now, and we'll show you we're hearing rumbles of thunder in the FM area. Again, we're all but done in places like Jamestown, Foster, and Eddy County, all the way down towards Emmons County. Things pretty much wrapping up down there. Now, there is a severe thunderstorm watch, though, in the areas of yellow that you see here, including the Fargo-Moorhead area, until 7 in the morning. Here's the thing. We do have a line of storms. This cell down here, there is a statement for the blue box is not a warning, but it's a statement. You see this cell moving out of the Fairmount area into Highway 75. That is a pretty significant hail-producing cell right there, not far from Tenney. That storm is very, very strong, and it's moving into northern parts of Traverse County as we speak. So that storm cell is very strong, capable of some hail upwards of 1 inch in diameter as it's working its way there, maybe even a little bit bigger. So be aware of that. Now, in Valley City, there is a warning for this line of cells. You see this almost very distinct backward C shape or bowing segment right here. See that big bow shape, backward C shape? This is going to be capable of some very gusty straight line winds as it works its way off to the east. Now, in and southern parts of Barnes County, the wind speeds there could be pretty strong. In excess of 60 miles per hour heading into the wee hours of the morning. Now, there is some weak spin and shear associated with this storm. These storms can sometimes produce tornadoes, but the main risk here is going to be large hail, ping pong ball size, and we could have some also risk of some very gusty straight line winds. We are seeing just a little bit of evidence of some spin in the storm, and that would be located not far from Enderlin, right over here. It's not particularly long-lived, but it is tight. It is more organized than it was a bit ago. So we'll take a look at that here as we let it loop. Yeah, along that boundary, right in this area, moving towards the Enderlin area, there is some rotation with the storm. So this storm is strong. There is an inordinate amount of lightning with the storm as it's worked its way through over the last half hour. And as we take a look at the velocities, I want to measure these wind speeds with the storm. I have had a couple of these cells at times produce some ridiculous amounts of wind, and we're seeing that again where you see the blues here. So let's look down near Enderlin and Nome, and you're going to see here where I get to the blues, 100-mile-per-hour winds inbound, not far from Fort Ransom. This is not necessarily the wind that's on the ground, but what we're looking at here is gusty nature of the winds aloft, above in the storm. Sometimes that can be mixed right down toward the ground, but there's some very strong wind energy and potential with the storm as it's working its way into parts of northern. Well, let's see. That's down here, southern Barnes County, and moving into southwestern parts of the Cass County area. So now back to the regular reflectivities on the radar, and we can see that the bowing segment of storms is making its way off to the east. Notice this. We are seeing that we're not seeing as much of the pink here as we were earlier. That means that the hail threat not quite as high as it was a while ago. I can take a look at some higher elevation scans and see if there's hailstones higher up in the sky there. But there is a very gusty signature to this particular line of storms here. So I'm going to say that I do believe that that wind threat is going to be considerable with this storm as well. So if you are in western parts and southwestern parts of Cass County and southern and eastern parts of Barnes County, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning for ping pong ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds working their way in toward the FM area. We're starting to hear deep rumbles of thunder and lightning in and around the FM area. Look at this one little lightning bolt up here, not far from Felton. I can tell you on this side of Felton from last night's storms, Saturday night, boy, this area here just got hit as those storms move south. Nasty storms here leveled some crops, and we do have some more storms heading our way here tonight into this general vicinity. So these storms, as you can see, when I loop the radar, are going to be having this general motion toward the Fargo area. Looks like a solid wall of thunderstorm activity. And while much of the area will likely get some rain, it's not likely that every area is going to see severe storms. So a lot of you have been asking, hey, Hutch, are we going to see the severe storms working their way into the FM area? And I can tell you that they're moving in our general direction. And whether or not the severest of the weather hits Fargo or not remains to be seen. But I'll be here to guide you through and let you know what we're seeing as this line of severe storms continues to trek off to the east. Down south, near the South Dakota border with Minnesota and North Dakota, we do have some more thunderstorm activity. But first, I want to take a minute and share with you my website here at Hutch's Weather and hutchesweather.com. The address is written for you right up at the top of the page here. Let's go over to this monitor over here. So on the website, when you log in, hutchesweather.com, if Hutch is doing an update like I am right now, when you log onto it right now, you're going to see this neat little banner up here that says we're live. So we're going live now. We're on the air now. You can watch it online on your computer now. So if you don't have Facebook on your phone, or if you're not a big Facebook user, I'm here to keep you ahead of the storms on my website. It's another place. And another thing to keep in mind, you get the latest information on your forecast at the top of the line here. You got your interactive radar. You can see the line of storms racing into eastern North Dakota, the strongest illustrated by the pinks that you see there moving through Stutsman County. We had a doozy work its way through the Medina area with a report of some ping pong ball sized hail there in western Stutsman County. Those storms became severe just outside of Valley City and are moving through Barnes County now and heading into western parts of Cass County. Pretty strong cell right down here, not far from Wahpeton. That's moving out toward the Fergus Falls area and Grant County as well. So that's a look at the interactive radar on Hutch's Weather. And again, you can get the latest videos. The last 6 most recent ones are all posted up here for you to see. Some are long form, some are short form, and you can get the latest photos uploaded right here by clicking on that. Now, on the photo uploads, you can see some of the great photos people have shared over a very stormy weekend here across the valley, including mammatus clouds, lightning videos, tornado photos, and also tornado. Well, look at this from the Wahpeton storm. National Weather Service will be doing their survey on that storm that made its way through the Richland County area this weekend, but some incredible views of that storm as it worked its way through. So a destructive weekend, really taking a toll on area crops. Hutchesweather.com is here for you. And thank you for taking the time to take a look at that. You can also fill in your email at the top bar. I'm not selling emails. I'm not going to overuse it, but when I'm going live, we're going to get that functionality working shortly where I can send out a notification to your email so you'll know no matter where you are that Hutch is going live. Okay, let's take a look at the latest on the radar scan here. Storms moving towards Fargo. We have a warning for areas south of Valley City and out near the Tower City area, Buffalo, out in western parts of Cass County. And here is a look at that radar now as the storms are pushing their way in. Alice, seeing the storms. A lot of lightning with these cells as they're working their way through. It's very noisy in Barnes County right now. And we have some windy thunderstorms moving into the Lisbon area as we speak as well. So Sargent County, a little bit down here, not far from Gwinner, and moving in toward the Milner area right now, and Wyndmere, seeing some thunderstorm activity. In Sisseton, we have some actual intense cells there that are intensifying right over Sisseton, with the potential for some hail there. On the last scan, we're seeing more pinks or higher reflectivities there, so those storms are intensifying. We do have a severe thunderstorm near Dawson out here in the Montevideo area. And the weather service out here in Chanhassen says that for Lackawanna County here, we got a 45-mile-per-hour moving system that is working its way through that area with some quarter-inch or 1-inch diameter hail working its way in toward the Montevideo area. Okay, so here's a look at the big picture. These storms are brewing. We do have that warning that is in Barnes County. This storm may be making more of an impact right now in the Enderlin area and down towards Lisbon, based on this particular radar scan there. But this one is from the radar way out there in the Chanhassen area. Let's get a little closer radar. Let's look at the Aberdeen radar here, shall we? Aberdeen showing a few more cells down here near Sisseton, Webster, on up into the Veblen area. That's a pretty stout little cell right there, just starting to form, moving northeast in towards Hankinson. We have a strong storm north of the White Rock area right now. It's pushing its way across the county line and heading towards Grant County and Elbow Lake. That one is pretty stout and moving off to the east. These storms picking up strength here near Milnor. We're seeing more pink in those. So I do think southeast North Dakota is going to have a chance at seeing some stout thunderstorms. I do want to point this trend out for all of you in Fargo watching. And again, if you do have a question, please let me know. I'm going to let me go ahead and take a look at what we got going on here on the comments and questions. Okay, yeah, we're getting some comments. Raining, says Bernie, and Dixie. Thank you so much for sharing. Appreciate all the stars. Storm just went through Valley City. Small hail, wind, and rain. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that. We had some hail in Valley City and the streets are flooded. Donna, thank you. Lightning in Castleton. Thanks for your report, Kirsten. And showed us towards Amenia in the Castleton area. Could I show you? Yes, Erica, I'm on that. Sorry about the delay here. Let me get right back to the radar. You can see Castleton now, but as I'm going to pull this down just a little bit. But yeah, we definitely have the Mapleton, Buffalo area, Leonard. Look at this Enderlin area. That storm is very strong down there on the south side of the warned area. So I have a feeling that this system is really starting to congeal and pick up some steam now as it's working its way into southeast North Dakota. So this is some air here that's not worked over. It hasn't been worked through. Boy, we got some lightning and thunder going on here in the FM area, starting to light up the sky up brightly. So yes, we definitely do have strong thunderstorm activity. But I do want to point this out. These storm cells here are moving towards Fargo. Okay, so but the stronger stuff here is going to slowly creep south. That could very well mean that the largest of the hail will not hit Fargo. There's not a warning for Fargo, but this stronger part of the storm, they typically tend to hover along the southern flank of the storm, and that's what we're seeing on this one from Enderlin to Lisbon, and that area there is the one that I'm more concerned about. So that's going to skirt the county line down there with Richland County. So Sargent, Ransom County's activity going on for both of you, and a little bit of a hail increase here possibly in the Sisseton area. So if you are in Sisseton right now, this radar here is estimating 2-inch diameter hail working its way towards you. There could be certainly some 1-inch diameter hail from that cell working its way towards Sisseton. So keep that in mind, that these storms are very quickly changing as we speak, and intensifying right now as that wave of energy is making its way into the eastern third of North Dakota. Grand Forks, Ada, Halstead, Hillsboro, Mayville, all of these areas have thunder showers and they're windy. Don't get me wrong, but they're not severe, because by definition, severe storms have gusts upwards of 58 miles per hour or more, and hail 1 inch in diameter. So again, if you get the opportunity to take a measurement of the hailstones that you get outside, we want you to measure the largest hailstone that you find. That's very helpful, and it can help us in letting people know ahead of the storm what's coming their way. So we do have some very strong thunderstorms moving into southeast North Dakota. They're going to be close to Fargo. but my gut is telling me some of the largest of the hail is going to be passing just south of Fargo, the way things are looking. I'm going to put up some information on some hail estimates for you here. I want you to know that as we are in the process of measuring hail, I got a lot of hail photos over the last months and years, as a matter of fact. And one thing I want you to do is keep in mind we got to measure stuff. If you don't have a ruler with you, that's okay. But grab things that we have known quantities as far as the diameter goes. So a quarter is 1 inch in diameter. It always has been, it always will be 1 inch. You can compare that hailstone to a quarter, and that will really help. Here are a couple of other things that you can take a look at when comparing what we're seeing with regards to your hail size. So nickels are always 0.88 inches in diameter. It looks like we got a new warning. Oh, event canceled. Some thunderstorm watch keeps getting trimmed away a little bit at a time, so that's good. I'll review that. But first, check this out. When it comes to hail measurements, you find the largest stone that you can find, and then if you don't have a ruler with you, go ahead and measure the diameter. Now, hailstones aren't always perfectly round. Many times they are, but they're not always perfectly round. Measure the widest diameter of the largest hailstone, and that gives us an idea of what could fall. And again, if you don't have a ruler handy, that's okay. Tennis balls, we all pretty much have a feel for what a tennis ball feels like, and it's about 2.5 inches in diameter. Baseballs closer to 2.75 inches. And softballs, I played a lot of adult softball, and those suckers come in all kinds of different sizes. Keep that in mind. So a measurement is always the most bestest, Hutch says, but if you can compare it to some things you see, and grapefruits too. We see grapefruits in the store; those have all kinds of different sizes. So again, the measurements are best, but the bottom line is that measuring it or comparing it to known quantities can really help us. So again, if you take a picture of those hails, take a picture of the largest stone, and maybe rather than putting them in your hand, because we don't know exactly how big or small your hand is, you could help us out by putting it next to a ruler, next to some quarters. That can really help us determine the size of the hail. Okay, storms moving into the FM area are mainly staying south. Castleton, you got a pretty good cell over you. Here's the latest radar. Rumbles of thunder coming into the FM area right now. Look at all of that lightning. Oh my goodness. Ariska, Buffalo South. It's very noisy in Thingle. It's very noisy in Emden. You guys got a lot of Chaffee and Alice thunder and lightning. And Cuba, you got some loud thunder and lightning. Look at all of the lightning strikes taking place in these areas. Now, this area here, though, Enderlin and Sheldon, this is where the hail core is. And we're seeing the pinks, those tail all the way down toward Fort Ransom, moving toward Lisbon right now. So the greatest chance for some hail in this storm is now exiting the warned area and pushing south. So if you're in Sheldon, if you're in Lisbon, you have a chance for some very windy thunderstorms there, and also a chance for some sizable hail, upwards of about 1 inch in diameter. In Fargo, we've got heavy rain in West Fargo right now, Riley's Acres, and some heavier rain in the Yellows, seeing some of that as well as Fargo and Moorhead. Mapleton, but Castleton here possibly has some small hail working its way into the area. So looping the radar here in the southern Red River Valley, you see all of the thunderstorm activity with the abundant and copious amounts of lightning working its way through Barnes County and heading into the general direction of the Cass County area right now. So, yeah, a lot of thunder and lightning with those. And here is the Sisseton area. That storm pulsed over you and is moving over you now, and it could have some 1 inch diameter hail in it. That's a pretty stout little thunderstorm there that is just starting to intensify as it works its way into Sisseton and the I-29 corridor south towards the Watertown area. Now, if you happen to be in the Elbow Lake area, you have a pretty stout thunderstorm heading towards you. New severe thunderstorm warning issued. Okay, so let's go ahead and back up and see what we got here. Oh, there is the cell. Notice this huge area. This big Boeing line segment of storms. Fargo is not included. Remember Hutch's gut feeling there, steering just a little south. I think that's what the National Weather Service is thinking. So the warning is not for Fargo, not for Fargo, but if you are in Wild Rice and Oxbow and Horace, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning. So we have a severe thunderstorm warning for southern parts of Cass County, not Castleton, although you're going to get very heavy rain, maybe even some smaller hail. Remember, severe hail, 1 inch diameter. Look at the amount of lightning here. We may have some power outages going on with this. I haven't heard of that yet, but there's a lot of lightning going on. So maybe some power disruptions, a possibility. Stay away from rooms with trees just outside because lightning and wind can hit trees. Wind and lightning and hail are going to be the main risks from these storms as they go through the southern parts of Cass County this early Monday morning. As we approach 4 a.m., it's 3:52. You're watching Hutch's Weather. Hutch's Weather is being also streamed on my brand new website right now. You can see it there. Click on the link at the top of the page and you'll be able to see the latest. You can also allow your computer to have its location determined so that the correct warnings and watches can be delivered to you. Let's take a look at the storm that we got a new warning. This big box warning here is just huge. It includes Gwinner, it includes Lisbon, it includes the Richland County area, Walcott. So it's just a huge thunderstorm warning for this entire area, but it does not include Fargo because this main storm branch you can see it right here. It's trailing down this way, and this southern edge of the storm here is trailing down this way, and it's on its way to the east southeast. So one more time, not every town is going to get severe weather. Look at all the counties involved here. I'm leaving this up momentarily so you can read. Clay on the southern and western fringe, Wilkin, mainly the northwestern corner, Ransom, okay, southern Cass, southern Barnes, Richland, and Sargent counties. Okay, that's most of the counties in southeast North Dakota are under a severe thunderstorm warning till 4:45. The storms are moving southeast at 45 miles per hour. Okay, so in looking at this, just seeing, let me get this out of the way. Okay, so let's see when these storms are going to be making their way into the Fargo area, and then we'll time them off into some other locations. But the movement off to the east is about 30 miles per hour here. So here the storms are in the Castleton area right now, moving at about 30 miles per hour. We'll put that at about 32 miles per hour. And here is when it gets into the West Fargo area, 21 minutes from now. So you're looking at about 4:15. That storm should be moving into West Fargo. Riley's Acres, 25 minutes, 28 minutes for Fargo. So we're talking about really in between about 4:10 to about 4:20. The storm will be impacting most of the FM area. And will continue its way off to the east. We can scroll down through and see Dilworth within about 39 minutes and Glendon 49 minutes. So yeah, Dilworth and Glendon, the severe part of the storm is not going to impact Fargo, though that's down south. Notice this on the latest scan here, we're seeing less pink in this. So some of that hail seems to be falling out of the storm. That's good news. Wind is certainly a threat from this particular line of thunderstorms as well. So prepare for gusty straight line winds and hail up to around 1 inch in diameter from any of these cells that you see here, working their way in towards Leonard now. Now let's go ahead and time this out for folks in Leonard. This cluster of storms moving faster, that says 60 miles per hour. I'm going to go with 40 miles per hour. Okay, so let me go ahead and time this out for you folks. In the southern reaches of the county, this is 34 miles as the crow flies to the Red River Valley. And here is a look at how long it's going to take to get to some of these communities here. All right. So we're looking at Leonard, the heaviest core, not rain. Rain's already happening in Leonard, but in about 20 minutes, the main line with the hail potential should get there. Davenport 33 minutes, Kindred about 36 minutes, and Walcott 43 minutes. So a little bit of knowledge to share with you. The radar's looking up in the sky, and when the radar looks up in the sky, it's getting information about what's at cloud level. And we see at cloud level, we have these little pink areas here, and that means there's some hail up at cloud level. That doesn't mean that hail is falling everywhere in this entire batch of storminess, okay? So the entire area is not going to be stricken with the largest of the hail, but a few of these cores will make their way down to the ground. Now we can take a look in 3 dimensions, and I've done that a couple of times throughout the broadcast here to keep you up to date with the latest. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to let this thing fill out the radar data, and what you're looking at on the right side is a 3 dimensional view of all the radar scans in a conical form, and we're going to take out the light reflectivities of light rain, and we're just going to focus on the heavier stuff here, the hail cores. And when we get hail cores in strong updrafts, those hail cores can reach way up high in the sky. So here is the line of storms that is making its way into the FM area. Okay, so I got to move this a little bit slower here. We'll zoom in. See this big cluster here where we got this tower pointing way up high in the sky? That is um, a hail core that's been lofted up into the atmosphere, upwards of 20, 30,000 feet up in the atmosphere. And those hailstones are up above the ground. That doesn't mean that's what's falling. So the radar might show us pink because it's seeing hail that's way up in the sky. So the point there is that not everywhere we see the pink on the radar is where it's going to hit the ground at. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So I'm looking for your comments right now. If you're hearing any rumbles of thunder, if you have any reports for me, let me just see. Okay. Jeremy, why do the storms go south of Fargo? Yeah, these ones just took a turn tonight. That's all we can say. Here we go, Hutch, a doozy for us in Moorhead. It looks like we could get that. Yep, indeed. Hearing thunder in Hawley for sure. Yep. Hutch, could you show us Amenia? Yep, we did that a little bit. Just went through with some small hail in Valley City, raining here, passed through Valley City, knocked down a tree in front of my house. Terrell, hope everything is okay. I'm very sorry to hear about that. If you wouldn't mind, and if you're still on board with us here, I know you posted this a few minutes ago, but please let us know the diameter of the tree when it's safe to do so. What's it looking like for wind? We should not be getting the gustiest of the wind with this storm here in the FM area. So upwards of 40-mile-per-hour gusts in the area as the storm moves through. Raining in Castleton. Thanks, Kirsten. Appreciate it. What's it looking like for Pelican? Right now it looks like Pelican could get some storms here, whether or not they stay severe or not. You are not in the severe thunderstorm watch there, but we'll keep you posted. What about Grand Forks? Tyler, you got some just garden variety showers pushing towards you in Grand Forks right now. And they could be windy, 40, 45 mile per hour. It's hailing in Grand Forks. Tyler, thank you. Is it the small hail? Pea size. Thank you. You answered my question before I could even ask. I'll go up on the radar for you here, Tyler, and you can see. So we have showers and thunderstorms working their way through a huge aerial thunderstorm warning in orange here in southeast North Dakota. It does not include Fargo-Moorhead, but it does include some areas south. And I guess we're getting some, Tyler saying some pea-sized hail reports out here in Grand Forks right now. And when we look at the radar here, it sure looks pretty benign. It looks like ordinary garden variety thunder showers, but some pea-sized hail, not out of the question from these tall, towering thunderstorms. We have some Red Lake Falls thunderstorms that are a little bit more thundery, more lightning bolts going along with those as well. So, really lighting up the sky here in the FM area with some lightning right now. Storms are moving south towards Elbow Lake, and it looks like Herman and Hoffman are going to see some stronger thunderstorm activity. Ross, Holt, and the border counties there at the South Dakota border crossing, seeing some heavy thunderstorm activity as well. So, windy line of thunderstorms with the potential for some hail. I'm not seeing nearly as many pink areas on this right now, but they've been pulsing up and pulsing down. So I'll continue to monitor them as they work their way through. the area. So I'm going to pull up your comments here again and take a gander at some of those so I can keep up with the latest on what it is you are seeing. Okay, let's see. Yeah, you're welcome, Tyler. Thank you for your report, and thank you, Caleb. Thunder and lightning, Tammy says in West Fargo. If you're getting up early because of the noise, it's been a long weekend of stormy weather for all of us. And for some of our producers, some very terrible storms taking out a lot of crops and production um, in the area. Okay, so now in West Fargo, we got the lightning here right by Fife, so it's making its way into West Fargo now. Mapleton. This is not a severe part of the storm. The hail potential with this is lower. It's just going to be some good old-fashioned thunder shower activity in Castleton and West Fargo, Riley's Acres, and Fargo Moorhead. Horace, you're in the warning there. Look at all the lightning taking place in the warned area. So the Weather Service has drawn this polygon around the area where the storm is going to have the greatest chance of being severe. And there is some pockets in here where we're seeing some pink, and we could be getting some areas with some 1 inch diameter hail and some gusty straight line winds. So reports of some tree damage here and there as the storms have been moving through. So I appreciate your reports, and I'll pass those along to the Weather Service. Let me see if I can see any more here. Reports from you. Okay. Raining in Erskine. Thank you so much for your report, Tammy. Let's see. Riley's asking if there's going to be, Riley's asking if the sizable hail happened in Grand Forks. Uh, and Tyler said it was pea-size hail. So yeah, um, I was looking for the tree down report and seeing if I got an update on that. Yeah, okay. So the Valley City storm caused some potential tree damage there. Davenport. Indeed, we do have some storms in and around the Davenport area, and they are strong and severe. So this whole area in the orange box is definitely seeing some strong storms. So here's Davenport. Zooming right into you here. I'll get you on the screen. There you are. So Leonard has some stronger thunderstorm activity than Davenport, but you're in the line for some very gusty winds. The hail core looks to be down by the county border down here as you look down near Underland and Sheldon and Leonard. These areas here with a little bit of pink in it, likely seeing a better chance at some hail potential of 1 inch in diameter or so. Lisbon, some strong thunderstorm activity working its way through your area, and copious amounts of lightning are moving into West Fargo right now. And Fargo Valley City, looks like the storm risk is out of your area and exiting quickly. The watch has been dropped for Jamestown. It's been dropped for the Carrington area. It remains in effect for Eddy County up there in the New Rockford area at this particular time. But really, we do see the risk area focusing with the strong to severe storms most likely down here, and garden variety showers up to the north up here. Okay, so that's what we're looking at right now. All of this is moving off to the east. Fairly well forecast with our timing. If I recall from last night's broadcasts, mentioning somewhere around 4 in the morning, and that's about what we have here. As we cross into the 4 o'clock in the morning hour, we got thunderstorms, and those thunderstorms are severe. So, uh, line of thunderstorms that are severe are going to stay south of Fargo the way it looks right now, but we do have this kind of bowing line segment. We may get some pockets that have some pretty gusty winds, and those winds will likely be out of the west, just so that you know. Best idea is not to have the old garage door open, especially if it faces west. as gusty, windy thunderstorms come in, because that can cause damage to your garage door, and it can cause damage and maybe even can sometimes cause a roof to be blown off if that garage door is open. So keeping the garage door closed, put the car in the garage, prepare for 60-mile-per-hour winds in pockets with this line of storms from Lisbon through southern parts of Cass County, southwestern parts of Clay County, western and northern parts of Wilkin County, and most of northern Richland County. Look at Richland County. This guy here, Richland County's getting picked on over the weekend and even into our Monday morning here with a pretty stout thunderstorm over Mantador right now. That one could be producing some hail upwards of nickel, maybe even a little larger size hail there. Another cell down near the Hankinson area is pushing out towards Lamar's, so that's moving off to the east and heading towards White Rock. And much of the Traverse County area and Wilkin County seeing thunderstorms moving in towards Fergus Falls. Good thing here is the cell moving towards Fergus Falls right now, not too stout. There are a couple trailers, though, that are heading out of Richland County that could be coming your way. So you may have a couple of rounds of storms in Otter Tail County. Weather Service has issued a little statement for this cell here in the Herman area and Hoffman area for some gusts upwards of, I believe, 45 miles per hour. And it's moving southeast at 50 miles per hour. So a very windy storm there, pushing in through the Grant County area. Way down to the south, Montevideo, there's a thunderstorm warning for this. Golf balls, considerable damage, and moving into Granite Falls. So that's a pretty nasty storm there. Lacaparo County, as well as Yellow Medicine and Chippewa counties in Minnesota. 45-mile-per-hour speed of movement with that storm to the south and east as well. So big time hail down there in Granite Falls. Momentarily, that storm moving at a pretty good clip at 45 miles per hour. Here's the leading edge of the hail, and let's put that in for you folks down there if you happen to be watching Hutch's weather. In about 13 minutes, that storm will be in toward Granite Falls and Sacred Heart in 25 minutes. So, yep, some stout thunderstorms are rumbling through the region tonight, and they are starting to lose a little bit of their punch. I'm hopeful that we're going to be seeing that trend for the strongest of these storms shift well to our south, into parts of South Dakota and southern Minnesota. But when these storms enter into Minnesota and that air hasn't been worked over tonight, we could see a storm or two get quite strong. Let's go ahead and take a look at the latest hour-by-hour forecast. And that will help us see what the latest model runs are showing as the train rolls on through Moorhead here. Let's take a look at what we are expecting. Okay, so we'll take a look at this hourly updated model. And again, that's updated every hour. What does that mean? Well, sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. So what we see here is what we see now on the radar. Storms moving through the Red River Valley. It has them moving into Minnesota and diminishing in intensity as we go towards 11Z. 11Z we have to subtract 5 hours from. So this will be 7 in the morning. By 7 to 9 in the morning, we have a few renegade thunder showers out of there, but the main event is all but gone. And the rest of the day, it does look like our northern Minnesota counties and points out east could have renegade showers and a couple rumbles of thunder, but that's it. So that model has stayed fairly consistent in its reporting of what it expects the weather to do. Here's another model. Now let me get this to the right time here. As we head into the morning hours, it's got a couple areas of thunderstorms moving out of Fargo. Moving out of Fargo. And by the time we get into, it has the Fargo stuff kind of picking up in intensity as it moves over Lakes Country. That is a possibility. I just mentioned as it goes into air that hasn't been worked over, there could be a chance of that. This model does say that this would be happening in and around that 6-7 time frame in the morning. So about 2-3 hours from now, and then working its way out. And the rest of the day, the chance of showers will be off in Minnesota. So that's a quick look at the forecast. I'll go ahead and load up a look at what you can expect with regards to our weather for the day today. Let's go ahead and take a look at our temperatures this afternoon. I've got a map here that I'll put up. Okay, so here's a look at your forecast. Might as well take care of it while we're covering severe weather. Today's temperatures, we're going to be hovering right around an 80-degree mark in the FM area and points south. Up north, it will be a cooler day. Our wind will be northwesterly at about 10 to 25 miles per hour at times. Spotty showers mainly in our eastern and northern counties. Otherwise, it's going to be a much cooler day as we will have noticeable relief from the muggy air as well. And that's how things are looking as we go through. Now, as we take a look at your forecast for the next 7 days, we'll hop that up there first, but I want to let you know that on that 7 day planner, we're expecting our temperatures to, well, make a rebound here as we head into the next few days. And we will have a chance of a thunderstorm or two here and there, but it looks like it may be a little bit quieter as we go through the stretch. So here we go. As we take a look at your 7 day planner, we're talking 80 in Fargo for that Monday forecast, 78 Tuesday. Look at those cool midweek temperatures. Still can't rule out isolated shower or thunder shower activity on Tuesday, and then pretty quiet through the late week. The weekend, look at the heat return. Friday, Saturday, Sunday looks hot, sizzle-worthy weather with temperatures in the 80s. So that's a look at your forecast. Meteorologist Hutch Johnson. We do have a line of thunderstorms. Let's go ahead and pull up the Mayville radar. It's a little bit closer here. That'll give us more of a detailed look at our area. Okay, so in Fargo, we've got a Boeing segment. This is a wind signature. Not everybody's going to get gusty winds, but there'll be the potential for some in this area along that white line I just drew to get some gusts over 40 miles per hour. So some of us will get gusts out of the west, 40 miles per hour. Castleton, not sure what you're seeing. I'd love to have your reports. There's a chance at seeing, ooh, wow, look at that lightning. Just just lit me up. That was a window rattling oh my goodness. Pedro jumped. Here's Pedro. Okay, Pedro, I'm sorry. Yeah, that one shook the house, folks. Did you feel that in South Moorhead? Here's a look at the radar detection network, and it lit up and it was almost instantly rattling the windows here. So as we zoom in on Moorhead, look at that right there. That was where it hit. I've got a strike on Center Avenue and 10th Street. Center Avenue and 10th Street. You see the little lightning icon there? So that was just a rocker right there, and it's flashing like crazy. So big time thunder and lightning taking place in the FM area right now, and we do have the leading edge of the storm. Oh boy, look at all these lightning strikes starting to fill the map in here south of the Moorhead area too. Uh, just across the river from the Prairie Rose area. Uh, some good old-fashioned heavy rain starting to move into South Moorhead right now. If you're in Davenport, real heavy rain, that's heading towards Horace right now, Kindred. A lot of lightning, and this is the warned area. So Horace, Davenport, Kindred, and Leonard all are in severe thunderstorm warning for hail to 1 inch in diameter and gusts of wind to 60 miles per hour. You may have noticed I'm not doing measurement of the wind. You cannot measure the winds that are going across a radar beam. So it's pretty useless for looking at how much estimated wind speed we might be getting. It's not useless, however, for looking at spin along the leading edge of the storm, and there may be a little bit of that in a couple of these storms. Tornado is not our main threat or concern tonight. It's going to be the gusty straight line winds, as we talked about since last night, and the hail as we head into the morning hours. Hopefully, we don't get wind damage like we got over the weekend. So back to the reflectivity we go. Thunder and lightning moving into the FM area. I don't have much for gusts right now. The rain's coming down pretty much straight here in the FM area. Davenport, Wild Rice, Leonard, all of these areas seeing some very heavy rain. That's down towards Milner. We have some heavier thunder shower activity as well. I do see a trend towards a weakening of the intensity. We'll keep our eyes on that here as we go through. Thunder showers moving through the FM area and heading into northern Richland County right now. Lisbon, Gwinner, Milner, Windmere, all in the path of the severe thunderstorms. I'll give you some estimates. Boy, the radar has this storm moving at 83 miles per hour. I think that's a little fast, folks. Let's see here. It's not moving at 83 miles per hour. Let's go ahead and get our own estimate here. Yeah. Okay, it's moving at about 40 to 45 miles per hour. So now I can give you an estimate of when it's going to reach certain towns. So let's do that for you here as we wrap up this coverage of this line of storms working its way into the FM area. This storm here heading in towards Gwinner and southern and central parts of Richland County, moving at about 40 miles per hour. We'll put it in the Hamlin area in 12 minutes, Lidgerwood in about 25 minutes, and Stiles in about 30 minutes. Now, there's a long line of storms here, so let's go up to the middle section where there's a little pink left in it. Now, you're getting rain in some of these communities already, but the core of the hail is making its way off to the east, southeast at about 40 miles per hour. So Colfax, windy thunderstorms with up to 1 inch diameter hail making its way. I don't think it's going to be bigger than 1 inch diameter anymore, the way it's looking. Um, and here we got some pretty heavy rain moving in through the Castleton area now. More thunder and lightning just right in the FM area here as we're going through. Why don't we take a look on the system here and see if we see what's going on with power outages? So we'll get you that here. A little bit of Minnesota power outages today. Look at the yellow that you see on the state of Minnesota. Let's go ahead and highlight that state of Minnesota and maybe North Dakota too. We got 17 customers without power in North Dakota. Doing good on power outages, even with all this lightning. The power outages today are up in the areas of mainly out in the Hennepin County area. There's 24,000 people without power in Hennepin County. So they've had some rough weather out in that area and some problems with power there. Other than that, I think we're pretty good from these thunderstorms. That's good. There's a lot of lightning going on with regards to those. All right, I'm going to take a look now as we put the radar back up for you and let you watch it. I'm going to pop up a peek at your comments. So let me see what you got going on here. All right, Tammy, very windy in West Fargo. The rain is almost making it zero visibility. Gusty winds, Fargo. Here it comes. Yeah, I can hear the wind starting to pick up. So as you look at the radar scan, you can see the winds starting to pick up a little bit more of a bowing shape to this. Bowing meaning this backward C shape right here. So gusty winds will be blowing out of the west, making their way through. Lisbon, the winds will come more from the northwest for you. That those will be pushing into Wyndmere shortly. Milner, seeing those winds change. And that's what we got right now. So a line of thunderstorms, a big, huge area of severe thunderstorm warning in the orange box you see there. And a severe thunderstorm watch is in effect until 7 o'clock. And I can tell you that this line of thunderstorms will pretty much all but be out of here before 7 o'clock in the morning through the warned areas. Wow, a lot of just vibrant lightning with this storm today as we start out our work week, right? So lots of vibrant lightning making its way through the eastern third of North Dakota right now. Storms are continuing to push through. I'm going to look here too while I'm talking to you at some wind speed measurements here from across the region. Let me pop that up real quick, please. Oh, here it comes. Here comes the wind to Moorhead. All right. So I'm seeing peak gusts right now from the system. Wow, as high as 60 miles per hour just off the ground by 30 feet. That's not far from you folks in Lisbon. Okay, so there were some windy thunderstorms move through there. And 56-mile-per-hour winds in the Carrington area from the storms. Central Cass County, as the storms blew through there, 44-mile-per-hour gusts aloft. So there's some pretty windy storms taking place right now. Let's see what the peak wind gust was 10 feet off the ground. 47 miles per hour in southern Cass County, south of Fargo, not far from you folks in Leonard. Okay, so some pretty gusty winds out there south of the Lisbon area. well, it looks like maybe no more out towards Ellendale. We had a 50 mile per hour gust. So not a lot of confirmation of wind gusts that would be severe criteria. That's 58 miles per hour. So I'm not seeing that we saw that measured at a site where we have a wind measurement device. However, sometimes we'll take a look at what happens in between those wind instruments and we can find areas where there was even stronger winds. So again, the big picture showing a big old blob of good old fashioned, very heavy rain working its way through the northern valley. It's exiting Grand Forks. You're almost done in Grand Forks. This is moving towards Red Lake Falls and Thief River Falls. A lot of lightning now starting to pick up here in Red Lake County. So anywhere from, say, Gently and on up towards Crookston, north of there. Also out towards Plummer, we're starting to see some thunder shower activity. So a little more lightning taking place out there in Grand Forks County and points east now, Polk County and on up into Red Lake and Pennington counties. A little bit of thunder and lightning way out in Roseau County as well as the Lake of the Woods County area from those cells there. And by and large, there is a little bit of a southerly drift to all of these storms down here in the southern part of the valley. So, yes, if you're in Fergus Falls, if you're in Otter Tail County, there is the chance that many of these storms will be moving in your general direction as we go through the mid-morning hours today. So that's what it's looking like. Okay. Well, you have a look at what's going on. The heaviest of the wind and the rain and the thunder and lightning is actually moving into the central part of Fargo now and the central part of uh, Moorhead right now. So we'll be seeing the increase in the thunder and in the lightning and the wind, particularly south of Fargo, where the warning is in effect. I think we just had a couple more counties lopped off of the watch. That's what that little ding ding was. Um, yeah. Well, we're getting a good old fashioned shower here in the FM area right now. That's not a bad thing. We do have heavier rain down south and southern parts of Cass and Clay County. We do have up in the Wahpeton area a stout thunder shower, but it's mainly down to the south of you. And we still have some pretty strong thunder shower activity in the White Rock area. As far as the severe criteria stuff goes, the storms blowing into Richland County are going to be the strongest with this line of cells working their way through at this time. So we'll take a look at your reports, and if there are none, we will let this system work its way through, and I'll be back with an update here as needed. But let's go ahead and take a look at your questions. Here we go. Oh, Jeremy got a 40 mile per hour gust in Fargo. Wind picked up a bit in South Moorhead. Thanks, Thomas. Kirsten says heavy rain, lightning, thunder, and fertile at the moment. Thank you very much. Wind picking up in West Fargo. All right, very good. Power went out for a second, says Tasha. Yeah, that lightning has been something else, huh? So looks like we got lights and electricity here in the Moorhead area right now, so that's good. Yeah, loud lightning strikes. There's some loud ones out there. Okay, so that's what's going on. Severe thunderstorms working their way through the southern parts of Cass County, moving into southern Clay County shortly. Um, any confirmed hail in the Kindred area? No, I have not heard of that yet, but there is some evidence that maybe Leonard and Kindred would have a better chance at some hail than Fargo. Do you see Barry and you see where the purple is there? That's probably where we have some hail stones aloft that are forming heading in the Walcott direction right now. So, all right. And again, look at what's happening over the FM area. The heavy rain is moving in. We do have the lightning and whatnot, but um, a movement into Dilworth and Hawley right now, not severe. The stuff down south and towards Richland County is is severe, and there's likely moving into Wyndmere here, a pretty windy cluster storms moving out of the Milner area on Highway 13. Those are exiting out of the Lisbon area right now, so you're about to see things quiet down for you in the next little bit. Okay, I am going to get myself a drink of water. I've been on for quite a little bit here, but we've covered your latest with regards to the weather going on right now, and I'll continue to keep you updated as warnings pop up throughout the morning hours. You're watching Hutch's weather. And again, Pedro and myself here, shaking and baking and covering the storms for you here. You can get the very latest with regards to what's going on with the weather on Hutch's weather, or you can scan with your phone any of these tabs and get the latest. I'd love to have you follow me on Facebook. Love to have you subscribe to my YouTube channel that you see there. And of course, log on to my website and check it out. And if you do get any reports tonight that you want to pass along, I'd appreciate you doing so on my website. You can upload photos and videos right there. Windy thunderstorms making their way through the Southern Valley right now. It appears to me that the hail risk is waning a little bit with these storms and not quite as large as they were when they moved through Stutsman County a little bit earlier with some ping pong ball size hail. That's a look at your forecast and weather for the time being. I will be back with updates as needed as we go into the morning hours. But for now, I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson, joining you here on Hutch's